The problem for us is not are our desires satisfied or not.
I am sitting on $5 million in cash.
The problem is how do we know what we desire?
I'm about to show you what a $500,000 experience looks like.
There is nothing spontaneous, nothing natural about human desires. Our desires are artificial. We have to be taught to desire.
You are young.
Cinema is the ultimate pervert art. It doesn't give you what you desire.
You're ambitious.
It tells you how to desire.
And you want to make it big early in your life.
A creator's job is to keep you trapped. Whether it's an entertainer, educator, or even a reactor, their primary role is to keep your attention online. The secret is how creators have learned to play with your desire, keeping you trapped on the platforms, watching their content away from the real deadlock of your lives. It's only natural. Technology today has made life reinvent itself. It is so new that people have to come in and tell you how to navigate it. Without these teachers, everything would be chaos. But with them, innovation is lost.
That's not my father. It's just my reflection.
No. Look hard. You see, he lives in you.
In psychoanalysis, desire is reflective. We only know what we want when it is mirrored back to us. As Zizek described in the intro, cinema and now content is the perfect art form for teaching us what and how to want. Even when we reject the traditional path, our desires are catered to form within what is deemed acceptable. We become creators, musicians, artists, influencers, because it feels like freedom. The path of finding our place in the world doesn't feel natural anymore, simply because this space requires a personal sacrifice for the world's entertainment.
Good morning!
Morning! Good morning.
Oh, and in case I don't see you, good afternoon, good evening, and
Good night.
Yeah.
That one's for free.
A creator's job is not just to teach us to desire, but to shape and mold that desire until it aligns with their ecosystem. Over time, we're not just consumers of content. We are consumed by the desire to create. But rather than creating from a place of personal enjoyment, our need to create is dictated by external demands. We make content for social media. We take pictures to post on Instagram. We make songs to get famous. Don't you see? By teaching us how to navigate life, creators and their content mold our desires to perpetuate the very cycle that traps us. Even as creators, we're not free until we're participants in the same endless loop.
Paul, I think it's time I told you something I should have told you a long time ago. The secret ingredient of my secret ingredient soup. Nothing. There is no secret ingredient.
Wait. It's just plain old noodle soup? You don't add some kind of special sauce or something?
Don't have to. To make something special, you just have to believe it's special.
The mirror acts as a stage where we observe ourselves, striving to appear likable in our own eyes. In a weird way, this reflection is what helps you form and shape your identity. Social media amplifies this by teaching us what to like in the first place. This dynamic thrives on the gaze of the audience. Every quirk, thought, idea, or action a streamer or creator exhibits is scrutinized through both the audience's perspective and the algorithm, determining whether it becomes a likable moment. This is most apparent now with clipping on TikTok. Streamers perform live and their standout moments are captured and shared. When content goes viral, it receives validation and approval. Consequently, the audience begins to filter their lives through the same lens, causing their desires to align with those of the creators they follow and their broader audience. Our own thoughts and desires are shaped by this lens. We usually don't decide what to act on or not. Instead, our desires are manipulated and distorted to fit into the narratives and communities we engage with. Whatever we watch, our personal intentions become intertwined with the larger game being played. For example, someone struggling with self-confidence might constantly consume content from influencers who emphasize perfection and success, leading them to internalize unrealistic standards rather than developing their own authentic sense of self. Content influences us to try to be or appear perfect. We are supposed to be authentic. But what we don't realize is that authenticity here is not possible. Social media fosters constant doubt about the paths we choose, pushing us to chase novelty and trapping us in an endless cycle of dissatisfaction. When the initial excitement fades and our goals start to feel stale, we're conditioned to abandon them entirely. Not because they lack value, but because we haven't been taught that boredom is a natural phase before deeper fulfillment. This understanding is absent by design. Platforms profit from our dissatisfaction, ensuring that we stay engaged by seeking the next spark of novelty, rather than finding contentment outside of the algorithm's loop, with a real commitment to our goals. The fundamental fantasy is that we have a core authentic identity. It is a fantasy meant to be looked past because there is no core, according to psychoanalysis. It is an illusion that the algorithms are able to take full advantage of, keeping us in its cycle and keeping us trapped looking for the right thing that fits us, rather than just sticking to one thing and letting it transform.
All the ways you wish you could be, that's me. I look like you want to look, I look like you want to I am smart, capable, and most importantly, I'm free in all the ways that you are not.
The trap social media relies on is this. We have access to more idols than ever, and instead of going out into the real world, we can stay online and let the characters on the screen live our lives for us. They can achieve our success, they can make our art, read our books, and improve their lives in the place of ourselves. We can sit back, relax, and no matter how we feel, it doesn't matter if we were productive that day or not. The people on screen are consistent enough to give our emotions onto. If that doesn't make sense, let's start with an example that Zizek often uses. Canned laughter.
Get back!
Get back!
Look out, dude on the loose!
Look out, dude on the loose!
Get down!
Get down!
Get down with your bad self!
Get down with my bad
Get all the way down!
Get all the way down!
Oh yeah!
Oh yeah!
This type of laugh track they used to use on sitcoms and other shows basically indicated when something was funny. But what's important is the role it played to the viewer. We typically understand the laugh track as something just played in the background, a basic effect used to indicate a joke, maybe if you weren't paying attention. But there's something deeper at play here.
Are you aware what a strange phenomenon this is? You return in the evening home. You open up a stupid show like Friends, Cheers, and you are too tired to laugh. You just look. And the TV set laughs for you. It works, at least with me. Afterwards, I feel relieved as if I was laughing.
He goes on to describe the Tibetan prayer wheel. Instead of praying in your head, the wheel has prayers inside that are supposed to activate when spun. The act this plays is the same as canned laughter. You can do whatever you want in your day-to-day life. As long as you pray and take part in the act of prayer, you are forgiven. This is the idea of inner passivity as opposed to interactivity. Actions taken in the real world can displace our emotions and thoughts and take them from us. We are effectively cleansed and can go about our day. This is what is going on with social media and why it is so hard to break away from it. It offers us a constant cop-out for pursuing the things we want to in life. And as soon as we break away, a new creator is brought to us to reel our minds back into the race. The shows laugh for us no matter how we feel, and our favorite creators do the same for us. The internet provides us a lot of ways to distract us from our reality, but the thing is, the internet can actually speed up your self-development. But without a real understanding of psychology, you will get stuck.